So this is the first of a series of podcasts, and I really wanted to start this podcast with something that's interesting to a broad group of people. And what's hot right now is true crime. And I'm like, oh, true crime. I mean, there is a true crime story literally unfolding in our backyards here in Boise, Idaho. And it's interesting that I think of somebody who lives in Washington, D.C. to help me break this down, because Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow have been in the news a lot, but I haven't really followed the story because I've been kind of busy. But I get this call from a friend. Christy Adkins is a former Fox News contributor. She's been on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. You might have seen her in Salt Lake City as a former KUTV medical news expert. Former Mrs. Maryland International 2015. She's a registered nurse for the past 32 years, an elder abuse advocate. She's also got her master's certification in hypnotherapy. And you too, Christy, are very interested in this Chad Daybell case. You called me and were like, I want to come down to Boise to check this out. And here you are.
I wanted to come up to Boise.
Yeah,
up and over.
I guess that would be up, huh? Up and over. Well, first of all, welcome to our lovely city.
It's so beautiful here.
Isn't it?
Yes, the mountains, the breath of fresh air. Everyone's not in a hurry. There's no hustle and bustle. It's actually nice. It's really nice.
Is this your first time here?
My first.
Oh my gosh,
I love it. I think I might move here.
Yes. Well, okay, you're camping out these days in a courtroom. You were there on Monday and you spent some time.
Snooze alert.
Yeah, really?
Well, look, it's really different when you're watching it on TV and you're listening to your radio because people cut it and chop it. And plus, the DA here is incredibly boring. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's not as fun as you would think.
Yeah, because court TV looks a lot more exciting after every edit is made and everything's up. So I was really interested to see why you were so interested in this Chad Daybell case. And you just have this perspective on this case, Christy, that I just have had a hard time not relating to. It's just something that's not my expertise. I'm a registered nurse. You're a registered nurse, but I know nothing about hypnotherapy. And your background in hypnotherapy has kind of given you insight into parts of this case that I would have never considered.
Oh, girl, not just hypnotherapy. So when I wanted to become a hypnotherapist, I went to a school in Salt Lake City. That's where I got my certification, my master's certification. Then I decided at that point, I want to learn from the best, really implement this in my care for my patients. And I did it because I wanted the best outcome for my patients. I need the best. And we happened to go to Las Vegas, and I was in a cab, and I said, who is the best show? And I didn't say hypnotist show. I said, who is the best show on the Strip? And they said, oh, you have to go see Marshall Silver. Sylver, by the way.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? And this was like 1998. You have to see Marshall Silver. He's the best show in Vegas. I'm pretty sure that they said the Stratosphere. I'd have to look that up because I'm a little bit older now. I'm not 25.
Okay. Me neither.
Not 25 anymore. But yeah, and he was the best. And that's when I set out my mind. I'm like, when I learn something, I learn from the best. So he was my mentor, and I traveled the country with him from Seattle all the way to Tennessee and all the way down to Florida and New Mexico and you name it. I was fully immersed with Marshall Silver in my older 20s for at least 5 years. But even that wasn't enough, because I said, okay, now I understand that part of subconscious reprogramming, and I know the glitz and the glamour and the showbiz and the smoke and mirrors. Now I actually want to understand mind control.
Oh, okay.
So I also, as a nurse, wanted to be accredited. So I joined the National Guild of Hypnotists so that I could be recognized as a professional. And in the National Guild, we have someone we nicknamed the father of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is what the Tony Robbins does. He just doesn't call it that. It's called NLP. And I studied under the father of NLP, and his name is Dr. Will Horton, and he taught mind control at Quantico.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
You said mind control a couple of times there. Maybe I'm just reading between the lines, because I'm so interested to see all these takes that you have on this case. But when you talk about mind control, do you think mind control is an appropriate term to use in the case of the Daybell trial?
Yeah, and that's why Daybell has to die. I'm going to explain to you why Lori needs to go to jail and Daybell needs to die.
Wow. Okay, so Lori is in jail though, right? She's already had her trial?
She's in jail. She's delusional. She is in jail. She, I think, is in Phoenix now, and her trial is pending for the murder of Charles Vallow. So here in Idaho, she was convicted for her kids, JJ, Tylee, and it was for her new husband's wife, Tammy Daybell. Okay. So those were the murder convictions that she was actually convicted of, because I think it was conspiracy to commit murder.
Okay.
So now she's in Phoenix. and she's getting ready to go to trial for the murder of her husband. I know. I'm confused too. How many husbands
It's so
does one?
confusing. Yeah.
A lot of husbands, kids, and a wife had to die. And I'm telling you right here and right now, no one needed to die. But now Daybell must die.
That's quite a leap.
I'm really interested too. I want to see comments. I want you to tell me how you think. Just let me know if you agree with me. Give me a minute. Just take a deep breath and suspend your former reality.
Okay.
And you can find it on Christy Adkins' Facebook page. You can find it on my Instagram. We're going to put it on your TikTok. I want to see your comments. I really do. Because I want your opinion. But let me break it down for you first before you decide.
Okay.
Can we agree to do that? Just in your mind say, okay, I don't agree right now. But after we break it down, let me know if you agree or if you think I'm way off base.
Okay. So
Fair enough?
I'm eager to find out why nobody had to die, but now Chad Daybell has to die. I'm eager to find this out.
And do you want to know what other people think too?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so they need to go to our Facebook page and get ready to comment.
Okay. All right. So we'll wrap up this first segment as we kind of figure out who you are, Christy, and all about you. And you have a very interesting background, so I cannot wait to hear your take on why nobody had to die, but now all of a sudden Chad has to die, and what this has to do with Lori. So let's circle back to that. And we have come to the table with some audio and some clips and things to kind of prove Christy's point. So let's go on this journey together, and we will sort through this Chad Daybell trial and this thing happening in our backyard that has been a national story for a couple of years now. So just listen to Mary and Christy break this all down.
Yes, listen to Christy and Mary. Break this all down.
All right, next.
It's time for